So, comes down to this moment. This is your grid for the senior Rotax top 36 final. So the two drivers that have won heats today, and also the two fastest drivers in their respective qualifying groups, are on the front row, Jaden Teen and Vic Stevens. Devian Rost and fast Freddie Ingram round out row number 2 with Lawrence Herbos and Ruben Verheyen rounding out row 3. Row 4, Jort van Wyk and Bo Louet. Sebastian Koch joined by Tommy van der Sloys on row number 5, completing the top 10. Mika van der Pavert, Julian Glosman, Felipe Falk, Neil Hendricks and Armand Hamilton. They complete your top 15. Top 20 completed by Oliver Jonkers, Flynn Fidders, Dick Nuren, Mitch Haynett and Kaz Boshouse. Rounding out the capacity 36 strong grid are as follows: Sverre Ubben, Bram Plomp, Puck Gubbles, Wood Kirstens, Sim van Vliet, Ralph van der Pavert, Benjamin van Hees, Martin Geiskens, Scott Westhovens and Jori Schoens. And the 6 drivers qualifying through the second chance: Robbie Stordeur, Wesley Egghardt, Enzo Dickenberg, Kaz Tobin, Kevin Navis, and last but by certainly no means least, Colombia's Martin Herrera. And hello, Lisa. I know you're watching your boy out there on track. BCM watching from California. What a great racetrack. Go Rotax. Thank you very much to I think it's one of the nicest states in the United States. So we'll have to definitely go over there and visit. So 12 minutes plus an additional lap. Who's it going to be? Pick a driver and place your bets. I'm not a betting man. Sportsman's bet, fine. For that definition, a sportsman's bet is where you say what you think. But revs rise, lights are out, the final is underway as all 36 drivers try and negotiate their way through the first couple of corners. We've made it through turn 1. Now into turn 2. It's getting a bit close in the mid-pack, but everyone trying to make their way through into turn 3. A few going round the outside, and everyone's made it through so far. Turn 4. That's another one to check off the list so far. Into turn 6 at Chemin de Fer. Devian Ross running at the top 3. Freddie Ingram right on his rear bumper. And again, a longer race means strategy. Don't go all guns blazing, because it might not just cost you, but somebody else. But Jaden Teen starting to open up an early lead. He leads after the opening lap. And it's not by much, 3/10. As Freddie Ingram trying to get through on Devian Ross, but this is allowing Lawrence Herbos, and Freddie Ingram goes for the move through turn number 2. Will he make it stick? Oh, they have a little bit of a tussle, a little bit of a tangle. And Ingram still keeps it pimmering around the outside at turn 3. And that might have meant that Freddie Ingram's lost a few places. Yes, he has. He's dropped down out of what was 4th, and I think might be 7th. And that is the case. I've just seen that on the screen. But he was trying to go through for the 3rd place on Devian Ross through turn 2. It was an audacious, it was brave, it was bold, and it didn't quite work for Freddie. However, he's still got time. There's still just over 10 minutes, plus that additional lap that can make it count. And now, what he's seeing, what Freddie is now seeing, well, he's just been passed. Well, he's got Bo Louet in front of him. So he's got to keep an eye on what's happening in front, but also what's happening behind. Because I think the 386, Mika van der Pavert went through. Oh, we've got a yellow and we've got an incident. That's Martin Herrera and Enzo van den Dickenberg through turn 1. Oh, that's the thing. Close proximity, rubbing side pods with sidewalls, it doesn't always pan out. Or if you're within proximity of another driver, you've got to be very, very careful. Your spatial awareness is quite literally bombarded by the senses, as we've had someone go wide and deep into turn number, into the final corner. One of those drivers might have been, well, Sebastian Koch drops outside of the top 10. Jaden Teen still leads after the opening 3 laps by 5.5 tenths of a second. Vic Stevens, P2. Then it's a further 1.9 seconds back to Devian Ross in third. 2 by 2, just outside of the top 10 through turn 5 at the sweeper. Oh, someone's got their bravery pills well and truly ingested today. But Devian Ross trying to hold on to that third position. He's got Jort van Wijk, Boluet, Lawrence Herboz, Freddie Ingram, Mika van der Pavert, Julian Klausman and Tommy van der Soys, amongst other people, just behind. And that's what completes the top 10, as Jort van Wijk went for the move on the run down. The start-finish straight didn't quite work out for the 333. And now they're fighting again, going through into turn 2. And Mika van der Pavert has got through on Freddie Ingram. Oh, Freddie Ingram's lost another position. That was to Julian Klausman. Oh, and we've had 2 go off straight on at turn 4. Oh, dearie me. And we've had a big roll out of turn 4. Driver thrown from the cart, but is up and up on the feet. Oh. It's the desperation sign again. And then there's one incident and it causes a carambolage. And oh, we've had it happen again. Another tussle. Through into escargot, 3 incidents within a matter of 30 seconds. And this is just, I don't know what to say. Jort van Wijk and Ruben Verheyen are dropping down. It just goes to show that, yes, you want to make that move. We've got a yellow flag at turn 4, no surprise. I'm waiting to see if any other decision gets made, because we've had 3 incidents, one of which quite minor, but then we've had a rollover and a driver flung from a cart. But the good thing for me, which made me breathe a sigh of relief, let alone trying to take intake breath to continue talking about this race, and then we had the run into Escargot through Piff Paff, and then another 2 drivers came together. So, still a localised yellow around turn 4. But Boluet has lost out to Devian Rost. Tommy van der Stroys has dropped out of the top 10. So has Freddie Ingram, 13th and 11th, respectively. But Jaden Teen still holds on to that race lead. No overtaking into turn 4. Big thank you to the Marshall crew here. Ruben Verheyen and Kevin Navis out of the race, I'm afraid, as more diving happening up the inside through at turn 6 at Chemin de Fer. That was happening behind Mika van der Pavert. Julian Klausman got through, and that would have been on the 398 of Lawrence Herboz. He's got Armand Hamilton not too far behind. Ollie Jonkers and Krik Knoren ran at the top 10. 5.5 minutes still to go, plus an additional lap. We are getting ever closer to completing this race weekend. But Jaden Teen has done everything right, very much like Nicolas Guillaume in DD2. Pole position, 2 heat wins. And now leading the final by 7 tenths. Leaders just coming out of Chemin de Fer. There's Devian Rost, there's Boluet, Mika van der Pavert, Julian Klausman, Lawrence Herboz, Armand Hamilton, Ollie Jonkers and Krik Knoren. Sverre Ubben is now through on Freddie Ingram for 11th. And the dark clouds seem to be trying to force their way back over the circuit. The the wind has dropped considerably considerably into the fact it's been reduced by a third. We were at 33 kilometres an hour, northern winds this morning. Now it's northeast and it's 19 kph. So not only have the drivers had to deal with the weather, they've also had to deal with the buffeting from the wind that's been provided by nature. Right, change for position. Oh, and Mieke van der Pavert loses 2 positions out of turn number 3. Klausman through, Herbo's through, which means van der Pavert drops to 7th. So Kevin Navis, Martin Herrera and Ruben Verheyen out. Jort van Wijk has dropped to 26th position, still circulating and was running up at the sharp end of the field. Robbie Stordeur has dropped down the order as well. 3 3/4 minutes plus 1 additional lap of this 1,388 metre circuit to be completed. Jaden Teen just casually, calmly putting in a new fastest lap, expanding his lead to just over 9/10 of a second ahead of Vic Stevens. Devian Rost looking to be maybe the first driver to officially get a top 3 podium for Kartstore Benelux, and I'm sure the team, in some ways, run by Patrick Dirks, will be over the moon when Devian crosses the line. But he's also got to worry about the fact that Boluet is not that far behind him. More to the point, 6/10. Now, this is Boluet's first year as a senior driver. Jumped in as a junior 4 years ago during COVID-19, before COVID-19, and has done Dams Racing and Team Belgium very, very proud. Now he's showcasing that speed here in juniors. Some drivers move from juniors to seniors, don't acclimatise. There are others that just seem to be able to pick it up like that. And that's something good to see. That shows a great opportunity for some young drivers to showcase that they are here not just to make up the numbers. They are here to compete with the very, very best. Jort van Wijk has called time on the race. Down to 31 drivers, rounded out by Enzo Dickenberg in the number 352 Sodi kart. And now Devian Rost pulling away from Boluet. The darker cloud cover starting to come in over at the far part of the circuit at the double right-hander. And now a move happening. That is Armand Hamilton for 7th on Mieke van der Pavert with 1 minute and 35 on the clock still to go. Sverre Ubben now rounds out the top 10, started 22nd. Well, wonders never cease in the world of karting. Not too far behind them is Ollie Jonkers, the number 316. Another one that, like Armand Hamilton, like Mieke van der Pavert, like Ollie Jonkers, like Boluet, they've all moved up. They've all jumped from junior to senior. Seen it in extraordinary cases, Enzo Boll and Tom Bracken, deciding to completely bypass seniors and go into DD2. But we have 37 seconds on the timer remaining in this final, and there is one person that we haven't really focused on until right now, and that is the race leader. Not putting a foot wrong all day, and has been one of the tour de forces in European senior Rotax competition. And not just that, also in previous years internationally. That is Jaden Teen, who's just coming through out of the first of the double right-hander section at the circuit. Now, this is going to be close. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last lap of the weekend underway. And Jaden Teen has a lead of just over a second over Vic Stevens. Devian Rost is a further 4.1 seconds back, but has Boluet about 6/10 behind. Freddie Ingram just comes through shot, running 12th. Tommy van der Soys drops behind Mitch Haynert from the TB Kart Netherlands outfit. But let's concentrate on this particular individual. The man of the moment. Again, another standout, shining display of how accredited, how composed, how dominant this man can be. Looks over the right shoulder before going into the final corner. It's been pole position, 2 heat wins, and now with comfortable ease, Jaden Thien wins again. And he wins after 14 laps by just over a second ahead of Vic Stevens. Devian Ross takes Kart Store Benelux's first ever overall podium in the top 3. A further 4.2 seconds behind. Boluet, close but not close enough, was 4th. Julian Kloosman in 5th, ahead of Lawrence Herboz, Mika van der Pavet, Ollie Jonkers, Armand Hamilton, and rounding out the top 10, Sverre Ubben. Krik Knudden, Freddie Ingram, Mitch Hainert, Sebastian Koch, and Tommy van der Stroys round out the top 15, ahead of Kaz Boshaus, Felipe Falk, Bram Plomp, Joris Schoens. Ralph van der Pavet rounds out the top 20 ahead of Benjamin Van Hees, Wout Kirstens, Flynn Fitters, Kaz Tobben, Miel Hendricks, Martin Gaisken, Scott Westhovens, Siem Van Vliet, Puck Gubbles, Wesley Eckhart, and our last classified finisher of those that finished 14 laps, Enzo van den Dickenberg. Unfortunately, lap 8, we lost Jort van Wijk, Robbie Storder, lap 7, Ruben Verheyen, lap 4, Kevin Navis, lap 4, and on lap 2, we lost Colombia's Martin Herrera.